Hey you guys, so welcome to the channel. Today we'll be discussing the topic of the baby mama epidemic in Hollywood. Halle Bailey, Keke Palmer, Skai Jackson, Naomi Osaka, that have been, having children, and then these men that they're getting with is just not working out. And something ends up happening to where they're becoming like single family homes. So we're just gonna dig into it a little bit deeper and, see like what could be the problem, or, is this something that is just common and it happens? Like, why is it that in today's time, it seems like dating is definitely a lot harder than it used to be? Now, you did have Victoria Monet, who broke up with her child's father, but it seems like their breakup was definitely more amicable. You didn't really see a lot of her on the internet talking about it. You didn't see a lot of him. So either they were able to work something out amongst each other and figure out what it is that they needed to do for their child. There is an interview that Keke Palmer had did with Steve Harvey where he was basically just telling her like, hey, I can hook you up with somebody that's in your income bracket that is making the type of money that is deserving of you. In so many words, she was just pretty much like, that's not something that makes me happy. Like, I want to find someone that I can connect with, like on my level, emotionally. So he was just saying, I got this person for you, and you're definitely deserving of someone that can provide all the things for you that you need. And I'm gonna play a little clip of that here so you can see it and just let me know, what y'all think.
How the dating going?
Dating is good,
Some help from Uncle Steve.
Uncle Steve is always trying to get me with the billionaire. I'm like, Uncle Steve, I don't need the billionaires. I just need some simple stuff. I don't like to mix my industry business with my personal life. I'm just laying low in private, love.
Uncle Steve ain't trying to get you with no billionaire. He trying to get you with somebody that has a plan to have something. That's what I keep trying to get you to do. You can't quit bringing these.
Uncle Steve love billionaires. I'm gonna just tell y'all, he do. Anytime I see Uncle Steve out, he's like, now I got this guy. He's got a net worth of 300 zillion. And y'all can really create generations of generations
You need
of
something
zillionaires.
with somebody with something. Quit trying to give a boy your lifestyle and he ain't earned it.
Oh my God, but you know what? Everybody don't start off as billionaires. I'm not a billionaire yet.
And then we go on, not to just the Keke Palmers, the Skai Jacksons, the Cardi B's. You also have Tiana Taylor, who actually did get married. And they have such a beautiful family, and she was really trying to work it out with her husband and make things work. But it seemed like every time she turned around, he was on the internet doing something crazy, trying to embarrass her. I really don't know what it is with these guys where they can't get certain things together, or is it something that's going on with the women? It can definitely be a combination of things. So you can't we're not in their everyday lives, so you can't just blame one thing, but it definitely seemed like it's definitely something. She really tried to work it out with him, but then it seems like whenever she turned around, then, he was always in the headlines, He was, on a boat with some other lady, and she ended up posting stuff on Instagram. So it was kind of like also putting her out of her aura. So I can understand as a woman where you really don't want to be in that position. So you like, hey, let me step back. Let me give this up, because it's really not a lot that I'm able to do here. Like even in Cardi B's situation with Offset, she was definitely trying to do a lot to make that sit together, probably more than the most or more than the list, of anybody else who's on the list. Cardi B was definitely trying to make things work with Offset, even if he did not deserve it, she was still trying. And then real quick, I want to touch on Lori Harvey. So you have Lori Harvey, who is of course Steve Harvey's daughter, and she was kind of like the glam playgirl in Hollywood, like going around dating P. Diddy, y'all know the list, dating different celebrities from Future, and basically just, kind of dating them for a while, playing her options and see what she felt like, how she fit into that situation. But ultimately, even the guy from what's that show? Franklin. Y'all know the show I'm talking about. For some reason, I can't think about it right now, but I'm going to put it on the bottom of the screen, which he seems like a really good guy. But like I said, we're not there every day, so you don't know the situation. You don't know people in person, of course, until, you're in that situation and you have to actually interact with them and be with them. One thing I can say with Lori Harvey, she played her options. She didn't come out with kids. It's a good option to, date, get to know that person and see, ask that person questions, because y'all actually might not be on the same page for the long run. So she was able to do that without creating children in a situation that she still had to be a part of, even if she decided to leave. And I think that's the big thing with a lot of this culture that is going on with, I guess, quote unquote, the baby mama culture, is that when these women do decide to leave, they still have some attachments, to this person. And it's not easy for them. It seems like these men will splash them on social media, say whatever they want to say, despite whatever that woman has going on for her career. It just seems like they don't care. So you have, Sierra, that it seemed like she tried to correct her mistake, her situation, and she ended up getting with the baseball player. But a lot of men don't really seem to be pleased with Sierra, and they basically, put her as part of the baby mama culture because of course, Future, we know that he have 100 baby mamas. So she's definitely tied up into that, and even once she tried to correct her mistake, it's like people are not buying it at all whatsoever. It's just so much controversy surrounding their relationship, based more so on opinions of outside people from what I see. I don't really see them in the news lines. I don't see them in the headlines. I don't necessarily see them sharing personal information online. You do have some couples that have been together for a long time, like Beyonce and Jay-Z, Alicia Keys and Swiss Beats. And of course, those are more celebrity couples that, like I said, they've been together for a long time, but then they definitely have that controversy surrounding their relationship. So that's kind of a hard one too. If y'all know of any Black couples in R&B in the music industry that have been together for a long time without a lot of controversy around their relationship, please drop it below in the comments, because I do want to know. Right now, off the top of my head, I definitely can't think of any. Then you have Mary J. Blige. Her and her husband, they didn't even have kids. And it seemed like he definitely drug her through the mud, through the ringer. He was going to try to get whatever he could get out of her. And that's just, crazy to me, because Mary, if you know her story, she's definitely been through a lot. She's been in the industry a long time, and she worked really hard to get where she's at. So my question is, these women, they appear to be very smart women. They've made decisions to get their career into the course or the place where they need it to be. Of course, when it comes to love, that's never an easy thing. So love it can just have you making decisions outside of your norm. So could this be a reason for them to say that they don't want to get married, in terms of them having something more to lose versus a man? So most of the time you'll hear a man say that he doesn't want to get married, or he doesn't want to commit in that type of relationship because he has things that he could lose, should that not work out. So are women more so deciding to go that route and saying the same thing, that, they don't want to lose things, but then that definitely contributes to the epidemic of broken homes and kids growing up without the father in the home. So you have those set of issues that also comes with making that decision. And, in our community, we definitely have to hold ourselves accountable first, and then make sure that we're also holding each other accountable, so that we can create better families, better situations within our community, not only just for ourselves, but the young girls that are coming up behind us and that are watching and looking, and especially these women that are in the spotlight, and especially the everyday women too, because whether you know it or not, you definitely have someone that is looking to you and looking up to you. So would the problem be in terms of money? The money that these women are making, could that be a contributing factor? Some say that, men have a hard time dealing with the success of their women. I don't think that's always true. You have cases like Chance and Tabitha Brown, where her income is higher than Chance's, but for so many years he held down the family and he made sure that they were protected and provided for, and he's still doing that. And she's also in a space where she's able to hold her position as a woman and allow him to do that. So with the music industry, we already know that it's such a stigma around that, and sometimes there are certain songs, certain music that puts a stigma into our community or give people a feeling or give young girls the wrong information. Of course, you know, some women know that it's just music and you don't do everything applicable that's in the music, and then you have the women that are making the music and they actually have their own families, so they're not even doing what they're saying in the music. But I just think that everything carries a vibe and an energy with it, so that could be something that is also, you know, affecting them, affecting their relationship with their significant other. Most of the guys that they're dating definitely makes less than them. Like I said, I don't think that could be the major contributing factor. I think that you have some guys that are able to deal with the fact that their woman or their wife makes more, so it's not a deal breaker for them. It's just maintaining a balance of respect. Does he still feel respected as a man? Is he still able to run his house, give directions, give protection, give covering over the things that he needs to? So it kind of seems like there's a catch-22, because you have these women that they take time and they build up their success and they do the things that they need to do, and they're still not getting the treatment that they want from men, or men are not necessarily getting the results that they want out of that relationship for it to end up in that situation. Then you have women that make less income that are still complaining, saying that, you know, they're not getting certain things that they need from their guy. They're not feeling the return from the relationship or feeling, you know, whatever it is that they need to feel as well. I think a lot of the problem could be, as women, we tend to move off of our emotions when we like someone, or when we first meet someone, instead of asking important questions, you know, about how do they feel about certain views, how do they feel about finances, how do they feel about raising children. A lot of that energy is given to the romance part of the relationship, which more should definitely be considered. Because when you lay down with someone, there's always a possibility that you could have a child. If you're in a situation where you could potentially end up having a child with that person, then there's definitely a lot more to talk about besides how cute that person is, the latest pair of shoes they have on their feet, what they driving. Like, it's so much other stuff that matters, and we as women have to definitely think about these things, because the man is not necessarily always going to be thinking about it. He will think about it eventually, but it may not be at a point in time where you like it, which is probably after he sleeps with you and after he gets what he wants, and then he's on to the next thing. And then same thing with women. You have some women with ulterior motives, so they lay down and get into these situations, and then you have this sort of dynamic where it seems like they're clashing against each other because they really weren't a match in the first place. But instead of taking that time, that vital time that is needed to get to know each other, they are moving fast in the wrong directions based off of the wrong things. This is not only a problem that's happening in Hollywood, so I don't think that this is just a thing that's secluded to Hollywood. This is something that happens in the hood every day. It's just a matter of, like I said, the vetting process. Us as women, us as men, us as a community, making sure that we're taking time to ask the important questions and to talk about the important things during that dating phase. Because why go ahead and commit to a lifetime commitment without asking the questions that need to be asked? And now you're in a situation, she's in a situation, he's in a situation that they don't want to be in, and you both have to deal with it for the next 18 or so plus years. Even after 18, we're talking weddings, graduations, events where you all still may have to get together. So it's definitely something to think about. But I want to know y'all's thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what you think. If you know some couples that have been together for a long time in the music industry, please let me know. I want to see that in the comments below. So thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys. Until the next video, peace.